A supraspinatus tendinopathy is one of the most common conditions we see in shoulders in the clinic. Doesn't mean that it's easy to get right. In fact, it takes a lot of hard work and the right exercises. So if you are one of those people who have got a supraspinatus, so this one here, supraspinatus rotator cuff tendinopathy, not a tear, but a tendinopathy that's giving you pain and weakness, it's super important that you get the right exercise in, get it better, so it doesn't turn into a tear. So here are my top 3 essential exercises that you need in your rehab program to get it right. You need an external rotation component, you need an abduction component, and you need a stability component. So let me show you what that would look like. Right, external rotation. Now, traditionally, if you were just doing external rotation with a band and you're doing entry-level stuff because you've got a bit of a sore shoulder, you'd be working on this. However, with a tendinopathy, we love doing eccentric training. So what I suggest you do, instead of start doing this thing, double the band so your load is more. Now, you choose a band and the load that's appropriate for your weakness and pain, okay? So you don't really want to be going into pain, especially nothing more than a 3 or 4 out of 10, but you have that doubled like that. So usually what we use is a light band but doubled. You're just doing the eccentric component, meaning from external rotation into internal rotation. Let me show you what that looks like. If I grab this band here, so when I go into external rotation, I don't have to do any work. Okay, that's really easy because I'm using my good arm. Then I put the load on. When I'm out in external rotation, put that load on there, then I'll feel that in my shoulder. Okay, now it needs to be load feeling, not pain feeling, and then I roll that back into internal rotation. What I'm doing there is eccentric phase of external rotation. I'm not doing the concentric phase, right? I'm doing the eccentric phase. And so I want you having a rest there and then the training and the load there. What that does is it gives you more recovery with every rep so you can go heavier here. So if you load a non-torn tendon, so just a tendinopathy, no tear, if you can load it heavy on the eccentric phase and then have a rest period here and recover, you don't get that build-up of fatigue. It's much better doing rest period heavy like that than going lighter load and going no rest, all right, for the tendon. Muscle, sure, concentric, eccentric, but we're doing tendon, right? We're trying to work on, can we get that tendinopathy better? So you have like a higher load and then come in. Also you need to change the rep range. So I would be going 6 reps, 6 sets. So again, even more rest in between sets. So you're not doing 36 reps split into 3 sets of 12, you're doing 6 of 6. And I find that's a lot better because you can tolerate more load, more strengthening of the tendon, but you don't get as much fatigue because you're resting all through that. Now that applies to both the external rotation and the abduction that we're doing next. But use that instead of the traditional just working on bands or dumbbells. You'll get way more effect into the tendon in those first 3 months. Your next component is abduction. So your supraspinatus helps with external rotation and abduction, so abduction is essential. Now, traditionally, lat raises with a dumbbell is good for deltoid and muscle strengthening and supraspinatus, but we're dealing with a tendinopathy, you remember, so you need the same principles as you did with the external rotation, but with abduction, it needs to go down low. Now, you either click it down onto something like this, like a carabiner, or you could stand on it, okay? This one is going to go again in your hand, and again, you're going to do eccentric phase only. So if I was doing concentric, I'd pull it out, lower it down. We don't want to do that. We want to grab it, give my body a rest. So when I put my arm out and to the start phase, it's easy. That's the rest period. Put the load on, hold it, and then down into adduction, which is the eccentric abduction, okay? I'm training on the way down. Call it a negative or a decline if you like, but know that it's a rest period up, it's a training period down, okay? 6 reps, 6 sets. Now with abduction, what I would do is not go up to 90 degrees. Sit around between say 60 and maybe 70 degrees as the start point. So when you come up, don't go all the way up high like this, okay? Find out where that 90 degrees is, come down a little bit, start there, then put the load on. You've got to hold it initially with the isometric and then lower down. Now your lowering down phase is about 3 or 4 seconds, all right? And again, it's going to be, can I get 6 of them done real slow, no pain really. You can feel fatigue load, like you feel like, oh, I can feel that tendon, but it doesn't then get sore for 2 hours afterwards. Okay, it's fine afterwards. In fact, you probably the next time you do it, you go, actually, because I did that training yesterday, feels a little bit better, okay? So you're tolerating that load. If you're getting sorer, then either you're not having enough rest, we're not doing it properly, or this band is too much. Now I've got a double yellow, you might find that's too hard. You might have to go down to a single green or something like that. I've just doubled the yellow because it's cranked it up a bit. But again, that might be too short for you. If you especially got a short band, it's not going to work. So don't have to have a double, choose a different band that's maybe higher up and do a single, all right? And just keep working on trying to get this downward phase as the strengthening phase. I think you've got to note with that is make sure your posture is good. You don't want to be forward when you're doing that. So when you're doing abduction, keep your shoulder back into a bit of a retraction so your shoulder is flat, because you're trying to also train a little bit of shoulder control as well. You don't want to be hitching your shoulder up or rolling it forward. So when I go into my abduction, I would sort of set your shoulder at that point there because you've got the load off here. So you can sort of, okay, get my shoulder in the right position, core on, then put it on, and then keep your shoulder still, or shoulder blade still, while you lower your arm. So you're training a bit of control when you're doing the strengthening of your supraspinatus. Okay, just as a heads up, if you become a member of this channel, you can get exclusive access to the exact exercises that we give our clients here in the clinic with the exact cueing, instruction, technique correction, so you can get your rehab done right. We're uploading over 700 of our new videos, so head to the members area and check it out today. Now your third one is your stability component. So we've done our external rotation, we've done our abduction, now we need to teach your brain to try and hold on to the ball. Because the big primary function of your rotator cuff, if you look at that, is those 4 are holding onto the ball, they're keeping it centered in the socket, they're creating stability, because this joint is a loosey-goosey joint, they're going to hold on to it and keep it snug, all right? If you've got one that's weak, that holding on stability is not as good, and so therefore there's more movement going to happen around the ball, which can create other problems down the track. So what you do is do a one-arm scap press, which is working on serratus, and what we do for people who have serratus weeks, it's also working on the rotator cuff. What you do though is add something like this underneath your arm to make it really hard, all right? So we don't need heaps of load for this, we need heaps of difficulty, all right? So if I go into a scap press like this position, I'm just gonna put this under my hand. Now be careful with this because some people, they're not so coordinated with it, and so you don't want to be slipping off the ball. Make sure your wrist range can handle this. So that goes under my hand. I then put the other hand on just to get myself forward, and so I want to load that and make sure I'm not going to slip off it. All right, so that goes under there. I'm going to take this hand away. I either put that behind my back or something. Turn your core on, keep that still. I want to go down into retraction of the shoulder blade, but keep my elbow straight. So that's got to stay straight. I'm not going to do a push-up. That's got to stay straight. Then I push away, but don't push back on your knee. So push completely vertically. So I'm loading down through the ball and I'm pushing my body away. And what that's doing is making me work really hard here, okay, because this is wobbly. So I've got to control that movement from way up here, all right? So I'm then also working on, can I isolate my shoulder blade and start can I keep my rotator cuff on while I'm pushing away into protraction, and then again control it as I go down into retraction of the shoulder blade, all the way down, and push all the way up again. All right, so yes, it's working the rotator cuff as a 4, but that's the deal. The rotator cuff does work as a 4, it works as a unit. Okay, this is going to start bringing up that supraspinatus strength. It's doing isometric work of just holding the ball, okay, which is really, really nice training. And a lot of the times people miss this out. They just work on doing band work or dumbbell work, and they miss the actual primary function of that. So when they press, okay, you've got to be able to teach your brain to hold that ball. This is a really good one to do. And it's something that you should definitely have in your program from day one. Obviously the ball is hard. You might want to start on the floor to start with, but once you're sort of getting the hang of it, this stability component is gold for you. So that's not all the stuff we do for rotator cuff, but my top 3, the essential ones that you have to have in your program, is your external rotation, your abduction, both eccentric, and then your one arm scap press with the ball. Good luck, see you next time. Now, if you are struggling with your rehab and you need specialized, structured physio exercise rehabilitation programs for your injury and surgery, then do yourself a favor and head to physiorehab.com or click on the website link in the description below. If you like the content on this channel, then hit the subscribe button, because the bigger the channel gets, the more free videos I can put up for you to watch.